Hi guys, this is Mishel, Deception Bytes, and it is Sunday, September 23rd, and it's 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, what we're going to be doing is picking up from where we left off in the last video, and unfortunately, the last video was done on September 20th. I am behind. I do want to explain for those that listen regularly. Most of you probably know that I've lately been having some strange health challenges, and I had a medical emergency over the last couple days that have kept me from recording, but it has there's good that comes from everything. And the good that came from this is that the problem has been pinpointed. It's a little bit more serious than I thought it was, but I have every reason to believe that the Lord will look after me as he always has, and I will follow up as I am instructed by my physician. So everything's good, everything's fine. I'm back. I'm going to carry on here, and but I would appreciate those of you who are believers if you would say a prayer. I would really appreciate it, because Scripture says that the prayers of a righteous man and or woman availeth much, and I believe that. So there you go. Now, enough about that. Let's continue with Q. It may take me 1 or 2 videos to get through September 21st. I'm not sure. We'll just dive into it and see where it goes. But I am very, very, very grateful to be back and recording, because I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the interaction with the comments and so forth. I learn a lot from you guys. So there you go. Here we are on the first post from September 21st, and it's a picture. Obviously, you can see that. You're not stupid. And it is a picture from Las Vegas, and it was taken during the Trump rally in Las Vegas. So that's all that was posted here. Q posted this picture with no comment, and we're going to move on from there. And then the next is a post by an Anon who posts this video, or this picture that Q posts, alongside of a tweet from Donald Trump. And they are 17 seconds apart, and this Anon makes that, makes a reference to that. 17-second delta. How does he even do that? Go Q. Now, so that's another thing that we keep seeing over and over and over again, is that we see that there is some sort of coordination between the Q posts and Trump tweets, and we have seen this from the beginning. In fact, in the last video, we looked at a graph, and we could see that when Trump's tweets went up in volume, in not volume, but in the numbers, when the tweets increase in numbers, then so do the Q posts. And when they decrease in numbers, so do the Q posts. So there is a very strong correlation. No, I don't think they're the same person, but I think that there is strong communication between the two. That there's no question about that. So after this Anon posts this, Q just made, acknowledged it, basically, and said, "Nice catch, Anon, Q." And no doubt, Q wanted that to be caught. So anyway, yes, nice catch for that Anon who noticed it. And then, what is this? Let me see here. It's been a couple days since I looked at this. Now, this is the next one, and it's, again, by an Anon. And it is the 0 delta, and it's the same. Here's the picture that Q posted from the Las Vegas rally, and here is another tweet by Donald Trump, and it says, "America is winning again." And let me see here, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I linked to the bigger one so that you guys could see it, because I know when you're on your phone it gets a little bit much to see. Now, this says, "America is winning again," and it was tweeted at 12:05 a.m., September 21st, and that's Eastern Daylight Time. And this one was posted, this picture by Q was posted at 00:06 .09 Eastern Daylight Time equals 12:06:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because of course Las Vegas is not in the same time zone as Washington. So yeah, it was tweeted within seconds. Well, a minute. So there you go. And underneath it says Central Daylight Time, September 20th, 2018, 11:05:52. America is winning again. 11:05:52 p.m. Central Daylight Time equals 12:05:52 a.m. So they're just spelling it all out for us. And it's actually nice when somebody does that, because then you don't have to, well, I don't have to sit there and, try to figure out how many seconds and all that when somebody does that, because really all that kind of stuff is not as interesting to me as some of the other things, but it is still interesting and it is still important to cover. Now, so let's go on. And Q here, in regards to this, just acknowledges that is correct. So let's go up to the next. And it's a long one. Yes, let me just ensure that this is the next one. 2235. When they're long like that, I want to make sure that I'm not breaking it up, and I'm not. Okay, here you go. We're going to dive right in. Get your swimsuits on and your pool shoes. All right, now, so here is the next one, and Q is making reference to a tweet by Donald Trump. I met with the DOJ concerning the declassification of various unredacted documents. They agreed to release them, but stated that doing so may have a perceived negative impact on the Russia probe. Also, key allies called to ask not to release. Therefore, the Inspector General, ... and here is the next tweet, has been asked to review these documents on an expedited basis. I believe he will move quickly on this, and hopefully other things which he is looking at. In the end, I can always declassify it if it proves necessary. Speed is very important to me and everyone. Now, you can say that again. I don't think that it can be declassified soon enough, personally, but and I am quite certain that you guys feel the same. Now, let's go down here, because that is not the end of the post by any stretch of the imagination, because Q also put this in, and this is his post from September 10th. And it says, declass of FISA will initiate the resignation / recusal and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. Declass of FISA will initiate the awareness that all signers will be currently under investigation. And I liked the way he put currently in the kill brackets, because that lets us know that not only will they be under investigation, they already are under investigation. And that makes me very happy. I don't know about you, but it makes me very happy. Declass of FISA will factually demonstrate without argument the U.S. government under Hussein knowingly presented false evidence to FISC, which is the FISA court, in an effort to obtain legal U.S. intelligence umbrella surveillance of POTUS, who was the identified target. Now, they weren't targeting him. They were targeting Carter Page, because they really had no reason to target POTUS. But because the FISA warrant kind of acted as an umbrella to all of those whom Carter Page associated with or talked to or had any dealings with, it included Donald Trump. And in fact, we know that Donald Trump was the intended target, but this is the only way they could do it. and I was going to say legally, but they didn't do it legally. They did it illegally. But at any rate, let's continue. And it says, so evidence to Fisk in an effort to obtain legal U.S. intelligence umbrella surveillance of POTUS identified target for the sole purpose of influencing the 2016 election of the presidency. Not Russia, but Hussein/Hillary Rodham Clinton projection. So what he's saying here is, yeah, it wasn't Russia interfering in the elections. Russia had nothing to do with it. It was Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton, and they were projecting what they were doing onto Russia. So all the while they're saying Russia this, Russia that, Russia's influencing this, they're doing this, that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. Kind of like that spouse that, wants to always accuse you of, being unfaithful when they themselves are the one that is being unfaithful. That's exactly what they were doing. Exactly. All right. And safeguard against possible loss of power firewalls. Now, what does he mean by that? Well, this was a way to safeguard against them losing their power. They didn't want to lose their power. They had a lot to lose in terms of, it's like, okay, let's say you own a house and you're a serial killer. Now, that I really hope there are no serial killers listening to me. I really, really would not enjoy that at all. But anyway, let's just say that you have a house and you are a serial killer and you've buried all your bodies in the backyard. But then your house gets foreclosed on. Well, don't you think you'd start to sweat a little? I know I would. Because you'd start thinking, gee, what happens if they're digging in the garden or they're trying to plant a tree somewhere and that just happens to be where a body's buried? Things like that would cross your mind, right? Well, it's the exact same thing, really. That's what Hillary Rodham Clinton and Obama, that's the thing. They're not the only ones. They're thinking, uh-oh, house got foreclosed on, new owner, uh-oh, hope they don't find the bodies. Well, it's a little late for that because I think they're really busy digging. Really, really busy digging. In fact, I bet you Trump, if you looked at his hands, he'd have dirt under his fingernails. I bet you he's been digging so hard, he's been doing it by hand. That's just a feeling I have. All right. Now, use of back channel surveillance, spy insertion, body 1, 2, and 5 by UK/Australia, primary, activated under direction of Brennan, and Clapper with presidential daily brief, regular updates, plus live streaming, White House Hussein non-oval situation room coordination. Now, we've looked at this before, and they're talking as well about Five Eyes and our allies, which, of course, I believe that when it's all said and done, Australia, Britain, and Canada will be guilty. I really believe that with my whole heart. Well, Q has already told us as much about Britain, and there's no doubt that Australia is involved, and there's no doubt that Canada is involved, in my mind, when you think about it logically. Anyway, now, FISA full brings down the House, the White House, Q. Yeah, and the White House is that house that I was talking about that you used to own, not you personally, but, they used to be, they owned it. And that's where all the bodies are buried. And now, there's a new sheriff in town, and the White House belongs to him right now. And he's going to find the bodies. And we're not talking about literal bodies. Oh, yeah. In some cases we are. Not that I'm under the impression that there are actually dead bodies on the White House lawn or anything, but just saying. Anyway, so when the FISA is unredacted, it's going to bring down the House, the White House. So there you are. And we've looked at this before. Again, this is an older post. It is from September 10th. So let's go down here. But Q is drawing our attention to it again. So I felt the need to just remind everyone again. And here, this is a Q post from July 3rd, where he is making reference to another post from July 3rd, and he's saying, reread drops regarding Five Eyes / FVEY will be extremely important going forward. UK, primary, turn taken. FBI / DOJ to state / Hussein, White House, including CIA / other appointment start to foreign bad actors. Rod Rosenstein, deadline, we have the server. Q. Yeah, what's interesting to me is that they're going through all of this, but they've got the information they need. They have the server. They have it all. Hasn't Q told us that? We've got it all. And when he says we've got it all, you know what that actually means? They have it all. All right, now beneath here, Q, in reference to this, is saying, and again, this is still part of the tweet that he is, or not the tweet, the drop that he is, the post rather, that he is referring to from July 3rd. He said, normally, intelligence passed on from a member of the Five Eyes Alliance, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US, to another member comes through an official channel for intelligence sharing. However, Nunes, upon reviewing the document that formally launched the FBI's investigation, said there was no intelligence shared through that official channel, meaning that the intelligence was shared through unofficial means. Q. Now, when Q says unofficial means, I think he's probably saying illegal. Or there's a reason why they didn't go through the official means, right? There's a reason why people sneak across borders. Because if they had all the legal documentation to go to do it legally, then they would. They wouldn't climb under fences or cross oceans or whatever they do to get into a country illegally, right? So it's the same thing with the intelligence. If they had, the means or the reasoning or whatever to gain that intelligence in the right and lawful way, then they would have. They wouldn't have gone the unofficial route. And we know that. That only makes sense. Now, I'm going to have a sip of something, and then I'm going to continue. All righty. Now, after all that, Q says, ask yourself, how would foreign allies know what is written in a U.S. top secret FISA warrant? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? In fact, it's a good question simply because Q has asked it. And Q never asks anything in vain. No intelligence shared through that official channel, which official channel, by official channel, he's talking Five Eyes. And that is a quote from Nunes. Ask yourself, why are two key allies very concerned regarding declassification and release? You have more than you know. And those two people, those two foreign allies that are concerned about the declassification and release of the FISA document are the UK and Australia. But then he says primary, which means there's more. So New Zealand could be involved. Canada, I'm convinced Canada's involved. There's no one that can convince me otherwise. So he's saying, yeah, okay, For instance, if they, their politics over in the UK, they're doing something, and they said, we're going to release this classified information. Why would anybody care over here? Unless it implicated them in some way. And that, of course, is the concern that they have. Uh-oh. Yep. They're implicated. They know they are. And, as Q says, rats running. He asks it as a question, but he's making a statement. Yep, the rats are running. You know when the rats run, when the lights come on. The world will know. Anons knew. Just another coincidence? Nothing to see here. Q. And of course, when Q says there's nothing to see here, oh, there's everything to see here. Yes, that's Q being a little sarcastic. And that's what I like about him. Her, they, them, I don't know who they are, but I like the sarcasm. Kind of reminds me of the, sarcastic fringe head. Yeah, you probably missed that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go on. It has nothing to do with Q. Now, here is the next post. I do believe. Nope. Oh, I missed something here. Yeah. Okay, we started here. Let's go on to the next one, which is... Wow. Got some blue jays out there, and I don't know if you're familiar with the sound that a blue jay makes, but it's very, it can almost sound like a baby crying. It's a very odd sound. Anyway, if you hear something, that's what you're hearing, because I do not have children, nor have I ever. All right. Now, this is the next video, or the next video. It isn't the next video. We're still on the same video. Imagine. Okay, here's the next post, and I'm going to make this bigger because who the heck can read that? Nobody. That's who. So let me see. Is this from Q or this is an anon that posted this image, and then beneath, Q has acknowledged it and said, important graphic. How do you catch a fish? Use bait. Imagine the information being shared now out of fear. Q. Oh, I can imagine it. I really can. So let's look at this graphic so that we can actually maybe have some hope of reading it. And this is Q that put these all side by side. And it says, I believe anyway, because this is Q 921, so I would assume that he is the one that's done this, or someone else has, I don't know. Oh, I see. I think these came from, I don't know. Apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we looked at this already. I met with the DOJ, and we've looked at this one, has been asked to review these documents, and then this, a D-class of the FISA, and then over here, we looked at this, normally intelligence passed on from a member. So basically, Q is just making reference to this that we just looked at, these old posts. And then he is saying, ask yourself, how would foreign allies know what is within a U.S. top secret FISA warrant? And underneath, and see, we just read this. And it said, just another coincidence, nothing to see here, Q. And let's go back. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So in reference to the one that we just went through, this is basically somebody has just made a graphic of the long post that we just went through that contained all this. And Q, in response, has said, important graphic. How do you catch a fish? Use bait. Imagine the information being shared now out of fear. Q. And that's exactly what they're doing right now, I believe, is they're fishing. They're digging and they're fishing. And I'm quite certain they will they will find what they're looking for if they have not already. And I do believe that they have everything already. Now, here is the next post by Q, and it says foxnews.com. It's Newt Gingrich, Texas offers blueprint for red wave election in November. And Q has already pulled out from this what he wants us to look at. You may not have read about this GOP victory because the liberal national, where did that come from? Liberal national media is not exactly excited to report that Republicans reclaimed a seat that they had not held in 139 years. This victory is even more frightening because the district is 73% African American and Hispanic. Read carefully. Significant. Red wave. Q. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's huge news that, they have reclaimed a seat that they haven't held in 139 years. And why haven't the Republicans held a seat there in 139 years? Because the voting district is made up of 73% African American and Hispanic. And traditionally, African Americans and Hispanics have always voted Democrat. So what does that tell you? It says the tide is changing. The times, they are a-changing. Really. That's a huge sign of what's coming. Red wave, Q. And here we are, the next one, and Q is making reference to an earlier post of his, and he's saying, reread Five Eyes, avoid U.S. data collection laws, Hussein, public dossier, FISA, not public, Five Eyes, UK, Australian, POTUS targeting using pushed Russian decoy meetings / campaign insertions. And what he's saying really is they were trying to avoid U.S. data collection laws because you can't collect data and spy on a U.S. citizen without, just reason. So Hussein, did the whole dossier and the FISA. They went through FISA, they used the dossier, and they used Five Eyes, UK, Australia, because they were targeting the POTUS and they were pushing this Russian, whole Russian narrative using the decoy meeting and, putting plants in his campaign. They were plants so that they could use this whole Russia thing. They had thought this up. They had put a lot of thought into it. I mean, you got to give them that. They did put thought into it. It's just that, as Q stated, these people are stupid. Because, okay, two people can put thought into something. One person's intelligent. The other person's stupid. Well, the stupid person could put all the thought in the world into it, but they're not going to be successful. Yeah. Okay. Now, underneath, Q says, Patriots new. Think fake news media attacks. Anons are months ahead of the news. Q. Now, that is true. And we know that as a fact because things will come out in the news and you'll say, wait a minute, I knew that. So, yeah, we're a long way ahead of the news, not because of anything that we ourselves have done, but because of Q. And now, here is and unfortunately, I can't go out to this because it's the New York Times, and I don't have a subscription to the New York Times. They give you so many free articles, and then you have to pay. And it's not that I'm so poor that I can't afford a few bucks for a subscription to the New York Times. It's just that I resent giving money to people that are putting out fake news. So that's where I stand with that. Now let's go up to this because I think this is embedded in another, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, perhaps not. Okay, anyway. This is U.S. politics. Rod Rosenstein wears wire, 25th Amendment. And of course, that was all about Rod Rosenstein wearing a wire, supposedly saying that he was going to wear a wire and record the president because he was not fit for office, and they were going to try to get him removed under the 25th Amendment, which says that if someone is not fit for office, whether for medical reasons or psychological reasons, and of course they were going to push the psychological reasons because they're trying to push that Trump is out of his mind, when really he is probably the most in his mind president we've had for a very long time. So underneath it says, "Goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein, Q." Now, let me see, this may be, yeah, I don't think it's going to let me, but I'm going to just try. Yeah, Rod Rosenstein suggested secretly recording Trump and discussed 25th Amendment, and then any second now it's going to cut off. Yep, there you go. And because they want their money, and I do understand that. I really do understand that. It's just, and if they were giving us the real news, I wouldn't have an issue with that, but well, yeah, they're not. So let's take a look at this. Breaking 911. Bombshell. Days after FBI Director James Comey was fired, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein discussed wearing a wire to record conversations with President Trump and recruiting cabinet members to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Trump from office. That, according to the New York Times. And I do follow Breaking 911. If you are on Twitter, they're good to follow. They're pretty good. So anyway, there's just a little shout out for them. And let's get out of here and go back to Q. And again, goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein. Bye-bye. And then up here, the next one is Q making reference to an earlier quote, an earlier post of his that we have already looked at. Actually, it's the declassify, so will initiate the resignation, recusal, and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. I'm not going to read it all again because it's not necessary. And it says, step 1, read the first sentence regarding Rod Rosenstein. Okay, well, let's do that because Q asked us to, so we will. Now, the first sentence regarding Rod Rosenstein is this: D-class of FISA will initiate the resignation / recusal and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. So we can take that to the bank and cash it. Now, step 2, read the New York Times article regarding Rod Rosenstein wearing a wire. Well, unfortunately, we can't do that. We would if we could, but we do know what the article says, and we are aware that he had discussed wearing a wire in order to record Trump to get him removed under Amendment 25. Attempts to bait POTUS to fire to cross red line will fail. FISA D-class will bring the house down. Q. So they're trying to bait him to fire probably Rod Rosenstein or to cross the red line, and those attempts will fail because one thing for certain is, the president is many steps ahead of these people. I don't know how, and it's not for me to know exactly how he's doing it. I'm sure he has a lot of help and a lot of eyes and ears, but he's just always way far ahead of these people. So they can do what it is that they think they need to do to save their own hides. But in the end, yeah, it's like, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up because it's sad, but it's like an animal at a slaughterhouse. An animal can attempt to run away, but in the end, as soon as it arrives on that property, its fate is sealed. And it's the same with these people. Not that I am wishing death on anyone, but I am wishing justice, and that is not for me to decide what that justice is or should be. But I do want justice to be served, and I think that it will be. And whatever attempts that they're, whatever they're doing to attempt to avoid their fate is going to fail. They've been caught. All right. Now, here is the next post, and it says, we are at the precipice. And when you're at the precipice, you are at the edge of the cliff, about to go over. Swamp fighting back, and they are. There's that leaky swamp. And that's how it got so swampy. All that leaking, just leaking, and it just led to a swamp. But they're fighting back. Yeah. Have you ever seen an alligator fight back? I used to live in Louisiana, and let me tell you, those gators are huge and extremely strong. And the people that do that for a living, bless them, because that is not an easy job. But that's what I picture in my mind when it says the swamp is fighting back. I picture an alligator. Boy, yeah, you don't want to get into a fight with an alligator. Remain calm. We are here for a reason. Patriots are in control. Q. Now, who is he saying to remain calm? Us. That's directed at us, because a lot of us are seeing the fight and we're thinking, oh no, he might lose. Or we might lose. This might get away, and they might be able to, indict him or what do you call that? Impeach him, or maybe they'll murder him. Like, there's all sorts of things that go through your mind when you see the level of fight that is taking place from the deep state. It really does cross your mind. I don't know. I hope we win, but I don't know. But Q is saying, look, you know what? Remain calm. We're here for a reason. And when he says we're here for a reason, he's talking about the 8chan board. They're there for a reason, communicating to us for a reason. And he's saying, Patriots are in control. Q. Okay? Don't worry. Now, let's go on, because none of us want to go off. I hate it when things go off, especially food. I hate it when food goes off. Okay, here's the next post, and it's from an anon that says, yep. I don't know why I am getting these weird stuff on. If anybody knows, please tell me how I get rid of this. I've got Opera browser, and this stuff comes up. Samantha viewed your profile. What profile? I have no profile. And who is Samantha? I mean, I'm just getting all of this, and it says Opera browser, but I don't know how to get rid of it. It's some sort of bug or something. Anyway, if any of you know, please let me know, because it's annoying, and not only that, it's annoying. Okay, September 21st. Yep, Rod Rosenstein tried twice to see POTUS, and both times POTUS refused. Now we know why. The sorry SOB trying to set up POTUS for a sting. And so Q makes reference to this, and then, let me see here. Am I? 1 second here. Oh, that's right. All right, and then underneath, Q, this anon makes reference to Q, or maybe this is Q responding. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, sorry. So this anon says, yep, Rod Rosenstein tries twice to see POTUS, blah, blah, blah. Then underneath Q here is saying, the Supreme Court is one of the main reasons I got elected president. I hope Republican voters and others are watching and studying the Democrats' playbook. Now, underneath here is another Q post from January 29th that he's making reference to. And it says, let me see if I have a bigger, I think I do. Let's look at a bigger graphic so that we can see this in all its glory. The Supreme Court is one of the main reasons I got elected president. I hope Republican voters and others are watching and studying the Democrats' playbook. And whoever did this graphic underlined playbook and included this post by Q from the 18th, where he was making reference to another of Q's posts from January 29th. It says narrative shift, nation on alert, firing Rod Rosenstein equals blocking Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals setup to firing Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals red line. What was the Senate confirmation vote regarding Rod Rosenstein? And of course, we know that it was almost unanimous. Why was Rod Rosenstein begging Ryan to block the FISA memo from congressional review or further advancement? Well, of course, we know that too. Real time, 7 congressional members plus 3 senators plus 2 former Obama senator officials, officials, plus 4 outside contractors. No CTOP, sensitive level clearance at the sensitive secret classified, sensitive classified information facility and in the DC Capitol. Top secret clearance is mandatory for admission. How is that possible? We see you. And underneath it says the DOJ and FBI have previously informed me that release of some of this information would cross a red line. Declassify FISA, Rod Rosenstein forcing Rod Rosenstein out would be crossing the red line. And then new playbook needed. Q said this, new playbook needed, but he's asking, but he's saying new playbook needed. And then he said, we see you, Q. And here, this quote, the DOJ and FBI have previously informed me that the release of some of this information would cross a red line. That was from Adam Schiff's Twitter page. Yeah, like he would know. He should know all about crossing a red line, shouldn't he? Yes, your time's coming. Your time's coming. Little Adam Schiff. Yep, we've got a place saved for you. Gizmo. Hope you enjoy it. Anyway, so Q is pointing this out that, or this anon rather is pointing it out that Trump said this about studying the Democrats' playbook, and then Q posted about new playbook needed. Now, let's go back. And Q is saying, in response to all that, think playbook, think New York Times article, think Rod Rosenstein meetings push. And what he's talking about there is he has been pushing to meet with the president. And the president has said, nope, don't think so. And he said, panic, clockwork, Q. Yep. And here it says, let me see here. Did I miss something? Nope. Oh, yeah, okay. And then here's the next one, and it's by Q, and it's a reference to, gosh, I didn't put the link for that, and I do apologize, but it says Patriot. Reminder, prior to, I remember, this person, and I'm sorry, this is like, I clipped this out, so I can't click on it, but this person had been complaining because the Secret Service had asked him to remove his Q shirt prior to the rally. And Q is responding to that Twitter and saying, Patriot, reminder, prior to each rally, threats are called into local and federal authorities regarding QAnon. Panic, Q. So, they're trying to make it seem as if those of us that are following QAnon are a threat to the public, are, a threat to people's safety and possibly a threat to POTUS himself. So they are asking people not to wear the Q shirts at the rallies because, or at least the Secret Service is, because they are, the deep state is calling these threats in to make it seem like Q followers are dangerous or unhinged. So that is what that is about. Now, let's go up to the next, and it is this, and it's a reference to a Bloomberg article, and we're going to look at that in a second. And it says Schumer's warning. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer. I always think of that horror movie. I never watched it, but whenever I see the name Chuck Schumer, I think of that little Chucky doll, you know, and I'm just not a person that ever watches horror movies ever, but that's what I think of. I think of that little Chucky doll. Now, I wonder why that is. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer quickly warned Trump against seizing on the report as a reason to dismiss Rosenstein. The story must not be used as a pretext for the corrupt purpose of firing Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein in order to install an official who will allow the president to interfere with the special counsel's investigation. Schumer said in a statement. He added that many White House and cabinet officials have been reported to say critical things of the president without being fired. The red line, like clockwork. Q. So that is what this Bloomberg article is about. It's about little Chucky Schumer saying that, you know, well, other people have said critical things about the president and they haven't been fired. Well, so leave Rod Rosenstein alone, President Trump. Leave him alone. That's what little Chucky Schumer's saying. Leave him alone. Other people, they've been saying bad things too. Why you gotta fire Rod? He's my man. Don't fire him. And Q said, like clockwork. Yeah, wouldn't that be what you'd expect him to say? Yeah. So now I put Schumer. I must have written that when I wasn't feeling well because that sentence didn't make any sense at all. Schumer might be baiting POTUS to fire Rod Rosenstein by saying he does not want him to. That's reverse psychology. That needs a period there. Right there. Yeah, right there. I'm trying to put it in there. There you go. It feels better. That sentence feels better now because it makes sense. Schumer might be baiting POTUS to fire Rod Rosenstein by saying he doesn't want him to. Reverse psychology. Then they and him, Schumer, can say he's crossed their red line. And that bolsters their obstruction of justice case, as well as provides a reason for POTUS removal via Amendment 25. They can say, look, the man's out of his mind. He's not just crossing the red line, he's dancing on it. He's partying on it. He's breaking open champagne on the red line. And we need to remove him because he's out of his mind. So then this is part of this post. It says, it gives two articles and it says 1 equals 1, the more you know. Q. Now this is this one. Well, let's go out. No, I can't. It's the New York Times. Oh, I hate that. That's the same one about the Rod Rosenstein wearing the wire so that he could secretly tape POTUS and get him declared unfit and removed via the 25th Amendment. Okay, that's what that article is about. And then we've got this article by Fox News. And this should surprise no one. Omarosa plans another tape release next week. Report. Yeah, Omarosa. I'm sure we all trust her. What on earth was that? It sounded like, I don't know. It sounded like, like a whistle, like a police whistle, and then nothing. I don't know. Weird sounds out there tonight. Weird sounds, people. All right. Now, I'm not going to... If I didn't
win this HOH, I would be on the blog. Obviously, I have no alliance.
I purposely kept out the drama, the alliances, because I think that's best for my game.
My target has been Ross since I got here. I think I've been playing
I don't know why
straightforward.
they're playing Celebrity Big Brother, whatever. But anyway, she plans another tape release next week. And when was this? This was September 7th. Omarosa, the former White House official, will reportedly release another tape recording on Monday that includes multiple individuals high up in the administration. She will appear on The View, the report said. It is unclear who the individuals on the recording will be. And, of course, released her book Unhinged, which, of course, is it's all about Omarosa. Omarosa is all about Omarosa, okay? And she's probably wanting publicity for her book, Unhinged, an insider's account of the Trump White House. And she's probably just going with whoever's going to give her money. Money and fame, money and fame. She wants her 15 minutes, and it's just about up. But, yeah, she's got no allegiance or alliance to anyone. So there. So I guess I told you. Anyway, so it says 1 equals 1. So basically, these two things are alike. You know, one's as bad as the other. 1 equals 1. The more you know. Q. Now, I'm going to show you somebody else's view on this because I think it's good. Again, this is Lisa Mae Crowley. I do think that she is a smart woman and she has a very, very adept brain. More fake news, both intended as distractions to stop release of FISA docs / Kavanaugh confirmation, both intended to paint Donald J. Trump as mentally unstable and should be removed via the 25th Amendment. They really need a new playbook. Another possibility regarding 1 equals 1, the New York Times piece on Rod Rosenstein and Omarosa recording, is that she may have the recording of what Rod Rosenstein really said in this meeting. If so, will this clear Rod Rosenstein or implicate him? Now, again, that we don't have any, this is just a what if on her part. There's no indication that that's the case, but it's an interesting what if. So I included it. Let's continue on. And it says, the next one says, panic in D.C. Rod Rosenstein called Loretta Lynch 4 times in the past 11 days. 4 times. And I put, he said, panic in D.C. I said, no doubt. Q let everyone know that Loretta Lynch was talking, so Rod Rosenstein is probably fearful of what she is saying / revealing and who is being implicated. Oh, I'm sure Loretta Lynch knows a lot. And I'm sure Rod Rosenstein is probably freaking out a little. I mean, he called her 4 times. Are they that good of friends? How many people do you call 4 times in 11 days? I mean, my closest friends I do. But, you know, even relatives, I don't call 4 times in 11 days. I mean, aunts and uncles and things like that. I mean, my mother, yeah, but there's not a lot of people really outside your little sphere that you call that many times. So, don't know. Are they friends? I doubt it. But what how does Q know that Rod Rosenstein called Loretta Lynch 4 times in the past 11 days? Obviously, they're both being listened to. Obviously, they're both being monitored. And obviously, they don't know that. Or would they have done it? Would they have communicated in that way? I wouldn't. If I know my phone's bugged, I'm not going to use my phone to talk about sensitive information. Are you? Of course not. So I think this is another way of Q putting a little dig in, saying, we gotcha. We gotcha. We know you called Loretta Lynch 4 times in the last 11 days. Yeah, we know. Mm-hmm. And then Rod Rosenstein's probably going, what? Like, picture the deer in the headlight, like, yeah. Okay, and then the next post is Panic in D.C. Loretta Lynch recorded calls with Rod Rosenstein. Oh, well, that changes it, doesn't it? It's not that they're listening as much as the fact that Loretta Lynch is cooperating and she recorded the calls. Now, I think they must have everything they need on Loretta Lynch because she is now cooperating fully. And she's obviously cooperating fully if she recorded the calls, right? It says Loretta Lynch is talking. And boy, I bet it's interesting what she has to say. I'd love to just sit down and listen to what she says. Really, I would. And Q must think that it's interesting too, because he brought it up. And of course, he signs off as he always does. Q. Now, here's the next. Panic in DC. Loretta Lynch talking. And what that means equals the truth is revealed regarding the tarmac and Bill Clinton. Uh-oh. Loretta Lynch talking equals the truth revealed regarding Comey, Hillary Rodham Clinton email case. Uh-oh. Loretta Lynch talking equals truth revealed regarding Hussein's instructions regarding Hillary Rodham Clinton email case. Uh-oh. Loretta Lynch talking equals truth revealed about Brennan and no-name McCain, coordination to frame POTUS. Uh-oh. Yeah, these are some major things here. Major things. Loretta Lynch is, forgive the pun, the linchpin. Yes. And again, I ask your forgiveness for the pun, but I had to use it. That's exactly what she is here. She's the linchpin. FISA equals start. FISA brings down the house. When do birds sing? Q. Now, obviously, if I can get down to where I wrote this, obviously the conversations that Lynch and Rod Rosenstein had were being recorded and monitored. Bruce Orr is the one who sang about what he knew regarding Loretta Lynch. Now, she is singing about the tarmac meeting and Comey effectively squashing the Hillary Rodham Clinton email investigation and Brennan and McCain plotting to frame Trump over the Russian collusion that never occurred. Yeah. Oh, she's singing. She's singing at the top of her lungs. And she's singing her little heart out. All right. Now, this is interesting. Let's go up here first before we look at that, because this is the next Q post right here. And he says, music is about to stop. Q. And he gives a number. Well, you know what? I haven't done that before now, and I do happen to know what that number is, but I'm going to call it. Now, let me see here. Just 1 second. Got my phone. Hang on. Got to get out of where I was. All right. 202. It might not even do it from here.
Cannot be completed as dialed. Please
Oops.
check the number.
Oops. Hang on. Hang on. 1 second. Oops.
Call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number.
Sorry. 1 second here. It might be worth the wait, and I don't know, it might not be. All right. 1 second. I need a new phone desperately. 2, 4, 6. I'm trying something else here. All right. Let's do this and then put it on speakerphone for you.
For quality and training purposes, this call may be monitored but will not be recorded.
May be monitored but won't be recorded.
The White House?
Okay, well, that was the White House. And I guess I probably shouldn't have tried to call that because I thought it might go through to some sort of recording or something, but it didn't. It actually went through to the White House. So there you go. Now, Q said, wouldn't it be awful if they called back? I don't think they would otherwise, because I can't even imagine how many hundreds of thousands of people have probably done that. Or maybe not. Maybe nobody is as stupid as I am. But okay, this post, this is the number to the White House, and it says music is about to stop. And Q. Now, what does he mean by that? Music is about to stop. It says, well, this is what I wrote, because when I think, okay, music is about to stop, I thought, stop the music. Well, stop the music is an idiom, and it means hold everything, like something important's happening. Like if you walked into a room and, there's a lot of noise, there's music playing, you go, stop the music, stop. I've got something to say, or there's a fire, or something. You know what I mean? It's important. So stop the music, or the music is about to stop. Now, so it's something important is happening, or about to happen, or I have something of critical importance to say. The other thing that came to mind is musical chairs. When I don't know, I think probably all of us have played musical chairs when we were kids, and when the music stops, you got to take a seat. And there's always one less seat than there are people. So you have to listen, and as soon as the music stops, you take a seat. Now, I don't know how that would really apply here. I don't know. I'm just saying the things that I've thought, because I don't know exactly what he means by music is about to stop. But there's actually quite a few songs out there about stop the music, or the etc. Different things. But this is the one that I found that, I don't know. You tell me what you think, okay? Now, this is the lyrics. The person, the artist is called Charlotte Kay, and the album is from Family, and it's called Stop the Music. Now, I don't know who this person is, and maybe this person is very well known. Oh, okay, Norway's National Final, what is this? Entry in Melody Grand Prix 2018. I don't know. She was announced as a participant on January 15th during the artist reveal press conference. Okay. Anyway, it's interesting because it is a song, Stop the Music, and finding some boots for your feet. You're looking down on the street. It's getting colder in here, an ocean of frost in the air, and whatever happened to love, whatever happened to trust, it's made out of steel if a heart is starting to rust. No anger, no nothing, just shadows. Stop the music when the dance is reserved for the brave. That's when I read that, I just wondered, I don't know, could he be referring to this song? I don't know. When the dance is reserved for the brave, fade the guitars just a bit more than you crave. Stop the music when you're feeling so small in the night. Fade the guitars. Oh, the silence will make it all right. Yeah, the silence will make it all right. Hey, the silence will make it all right. Verse 2, rain dogs are barking alone. Wish you were closer to home. It's getting colder out there. It's crazy and won't disappear. No prayers, no nothing, just wasteland. Stop the music when the dance is reserved for the brave. Fade the guitars just a bit more than you crave. Stop the music when you're feeling so small in the night. Fade the guitars. Oh, the silence will make it all right. Wish you never had to run to come undone and meet the light tonight. A little bit of you want to make it all right. Wish you never made the deal. It could be real. You'll get it right tonight. A bit of lovin' could make it all right. Stop the music when the dance is reserved for the brave. Fade the guitars just a bit more than you crave. Stop the music when you're feeling so small in the night. Fade the guitars. Oh, the silence will make it all right. Yeah, the silence will make it all right. Hey, the silence will make it all right. Now, I'm not saying this has anything whatsoever to do with this Q post. I don't know. all he says is music is about to stop, and he gives the number to the White House. Now, if you have some ideas, please put them in the comments below. But here is an idea from an anon from the boards, and I'm going to read it to you just because I think it's I think that it's important that we explore everything. So it says music is about to stop, and then the White House phone number, reference to the end of the song. Don't call us, we'll call you, about a band turning the tables on a record company that had used that line on them before the band got popular on their own. Now, I'm not familiar with that song. Don't call us, we'll call you. Rod Rosenstein has been trying to call POTUS. Now that he knows he's caught, others probably have been too. POTUS is telling them it's too late now. The time for that has passed. The call they will get will be justice breaking down their doors at 5 a.m. to arrest them. So, I don't know what exactly this means. And maybe it's one of those things that we won't know until later. So I guess we may have to wait to find out. So anyways, here is the next one, and it says fake news about to shift narrative against their masters in effort to weather the storm. Panic everywhere. Patriots are ready. Enjoy the rally at the Q tonight. Q. And then I have put this remark by Lisa Mae Crowley. She said, I've noticed mainstream media's tone changing in the past couple days. When Micah Brzezinski spoke of GOP having no choice but to vote to confirm Kavanaugh, I was shocked. Also read praise from mainstream media for Donald J. Trump's visit to areas affected by Hurricane Florence. Interesting times indeed. Now, I would have to agree with her assessment because I've noticed that too. There is a narrative shift happening, and I do believe that it's in an effort to weather the storm, because I think that they know now that they know that we know. Let's put it that way. They know that we know, and they're starting to worry. And wouldn't you worry if you were, had shares, or you had some interest in CNN, some financial sort of interest in CNN? Wouldn't you worry? Because their ratings are declining rapidly, and people are waking up, and nobody seems to like them very much. So if they're going to weather the storm, they better change their narrative. They better shift it, and they better start reporting things as they really are. So, yeah, I've noticed that too, and I think that that is very true, and obviously it's true because Q is telling us they're about to shift the narrative against their masters. Well, their masters, that's the funny thing about masters, okay? Let's say you have a dog and you stop feeding it. Well, if someone new comes along and they feed that dog and they pay it some attention, it's going to have a brand new master. And that's just the way it is. You show that, you feed the dog, you show the dog some love, yeah, it's all yours. But you stop doing that and it'll find a new master. So there you go. All right. Now, here is the next, and in this, Q is making reference to an earlier post of his from September 11th, Panic in D.C., Comey in communication with McCabe regarding testimony story, Q. And it says, Comey and McCabe talking? Well, obviously they are. Next comes New York Times article against Rod Rosenstein. Panic. Alliances forming. These people are stupid. Q. So on September 11th, hang on one second here. On September 11th, we were told that Comey and McCabe were getting their story straight regarding their testimony of story leak to the Wall Street Journal in regards to slowing down the Hillary Rodham Clinton email investigation. Okay, now McCabe, or so it would appear, leaked memos to the New York Times regarding Rod Rosenstein. There are alliances being formed. Is Rod Rosenstein being thrown to the wolves? Maybe. Now, this person, extrovert covert, says Anon's remark about honor with McCabe leaking their own data sets on the collusion to the New York Times, which they then published. Remember how the Comey memos surfaced. He gave them to his friend, Daniel Richman, to the media. Those have come back to haunt Comey, as at least 2 were classified. Yeah. Not looking so good for Comey. Not looking so good. And here we have reference to this by an Anon who made reference to the panic in D.C., Comey in communication with McCabe, testimony story, and Q here saying panic, alliance is forming, these people are stupid, and Comey and McCabe talking. Next comes New York Times article against Rod Rosenstein, and underneath this Anon says, ha 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 ha, no honor among thieves. Well, you can say that again. No honor among thieves. Underneath, Q responds to this and says, McCabe leak memos to New York Times regarding Rod Rosenstein. Sound familiar? Think Comey memos. Q. Sounds very familiar, Q. And I believe this is the last one from September 21st, and it has this lovely picture here, and it says, remain calm. Patriots are in control. Now, this, of course, was posted by an Anon. He posted this meme, which is appropriate, and then he said, what a show. And Q made reference to this by posting an earlier post of his from July 24th and said, you are watching the systematic destruction of the old guard. Power will return to the people. Q. Amen, Q. Power needs to return to the people. It's exactly where it needs to be. Oh, I'm not done. Not done. All right. So I'm going to push on here. I know this video is long, but I'm going to push on because I've got some other things I want to go over tonight too, if I have the strength to do so. So here is the next post from September 21st, and it says board owner. Now, who is he talking to? Who's the board owner? He's talking to the board owner of the Great Awakenings board on Reddit, which was banned. So that is who he's talking to. He's talking to the person that started that board on Reddit, the Great Awakenings board. He says, thank you for your service. People are scattered since Reddit termination. People are scattered since Reddit termination. What about starting a trusted vote board, VOAT board, under your direction? If you build it, they will come. Q. So in this post here, Q is thanking the board owner of Great Awakening for his service and suggesting that perhaps, since people are scattered and they don't know where to go to talk about, different things and to collaborate with one another regarding information and so forth. So what about starting a vote board under your direction? And Q specifically wants the board owner of Great Awakening to do this because she has done a great job. So if you build it, they will come. Q. So here, an Anon says, who is obviously the board owner, this Anon, says, thank you, Q. I am honored. I'll get to work right away. We'll update on my progress soon. And underneath, Q says, thank you, board owner. We stand ready to support. Q. And the next one has the link to the board that the former Great Awakenings board owner made, and it says, and this is Q, he's giving us the link to the board that he the board owner created, and says, "Thank you, board owner. Fully endorsed. Time to unite. Q." Now I'm going to show you the link to it, just to show you if you haven't been out there yourself. And this will come up. It says, "Warning, the Subverse QRV has content which is not safe for work. You must be at least 18 years old in order to view this content. Are you over 18 and want to see adult rated content?" Well, there's nothing inappropriate there. It's just that, they have to do that because it's conspiracy and all that. La 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 la. Anyway, this is the board, and you can get to it by going to voat.co/v/QRV. Again, that is voat.co/v/QRV in capitals. And this is the board, and you can sign up. It doesn't take long to sign up. And you can make comments and respond and discuss to your heart's content. There are 2,731 users there now, and so that's quite impressive for a Sunday night. And it says, "This is the official Great Awakening replacement endorsed by Q. Welcome patriots to Q Research _vote. Please bear with us as we are still setting up shop. We will let you know of any changes we make to this Subverse Patriots Fight main thread," and it gives you the link to the 8chan board and the research 8chan board. So there you go. That is something that we all need to know. And let's go back to Q. And here, Q is making reference to this, his own post, where he said, "Thank you, board owner, fully endorsed, time to unite, Q." And underneath he says, "Good home for X Great Awakening /Redditors. In the coming weeks, it will be important to have one central location, non-8chan." So what does that mean? I don't know. Is something going to happen to 8chan, or is he just saying it's important because, because of the, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. My mind just went completely blank. Oh my gosh. That's scary. I don't know. I can't think of the word. It's just gone from my mind. What they're doing, they're editing us. They're what's the word? Oh my gosh, that is really, really scary. It is completely gone from my mind. Anyway, here he is saying, "Good home for X Great Awakening Redditors. In the coming months, or in the coming weeks, it will be important to have one central location, non-8chan, Q." And here, Q is saying, "We will remain here," Q, meaning we will remain here on 8chan. So Q is on 8chan. The vote board is for the anons to discuss and to share with one another the posts and discuss, what is happening and any research that they're finding. So there you go. And then Q, and this is the last post, gives us some, I guess these look like they're all the same. Let's look. I guess they're all the link to the same board, I believe. I don't know why it's been copied that many times, but hey. Yeah, it's all the same. I don't know why the link is there like so many times. I don't know. Maybe whoever was. Hang on, let me get back there. It's kind of like a stutter, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 links. They're all the same link, and it says Reddit replacement Q. So there you go. that is it for the 21st, and that will conclude this video, and I will be back with another, and hopefully, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, but that's it. That catches us up to date. There is a post, I believe, from today, which I'm about to go out and look at and to see if there are any more. But other than that, I hope that you guys have a good evening. I hope that you stay well and stay safe, and I hope that my mind that is blanking out on that word will come back to me shortly, because gosh darn it, I hate when my mind does that. All right. Talk to you guys soon.